are early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about the co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just got to toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Hey,
Live from
Somewhere.
it's
Dillon.
Good morning or afternoon or whatever the hell. Maybe that'll become my new regular intro. Good whatever the hell. This is Co-Host Auditions. I am your co-host, Dillon, and today our host is Sean Morley. As you see, Val Venis is how I put his name in the title because that's how people know him. Not a lot of people know Sean Morley, and after he got out of wrestling, he got into marijuana business. That's the last I heard of him, but he is quite the outspoken activist on things he is passionate about. Not a fan of the LGBT community, as I found out. Apparently him and Nyla Rose had a back and forth at some point, and he is quite the anti-government. Oh, I should get to the description first rather than the actual show. You see him there live streaming at night in his car while he's driving, but this is one of two channels. At one point, Mr. Morley, Mr. Venis, whatever it shall be, Mr. Valboski, had the Captain's Show, hashtag the Captain's Show, where he would talk about his, push his marijuana products. The Captain's Show is your place for tremendous entertainment and a great place to learn all about cannabis and cryptocurrency. Interviews, product reviews, strain reviews, how-tos. Really? You wrote the number 2? You really, that really hit me up against the brick wall. Like, how-tos. Okay. Sure. Use 2 as TO. Why not? Tips and tickets, politics, events, and so much more. We explore recreational use, medical use, and the thousands of ways, blah, 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 blah. This is his pot channel. The other one became his mainly shitting on the government channel. And I am wearing a corduroy button-up because our second video, Mr. Morley will be barging into a government building. So we want to look our best when barging into a courthouse or whatever the fuck it was. And I forget what he's wearing, so hopefully he's dressed for the occasion and not wearing flip-flops and a tank top. But we'll get to that video second. This is our first video live from a car. He just got done talking about cryptocurrency, and one of the chatters down here mentioned something about government. What replaces government, I believe, was the chat, because he already went off about we need to get rid of government in all forms. So he is responding to that in just a moment.
Digibyte's incredibly fast. Vergecoin's incredibly fast. I mean, we're talking 5-second transactions. It's what replaces government? Freedom, liberty. That's what replaces government. People living in freedom replaces government. The second you have a government that uses intimidation, coercion, and force, you're no longer free. You are no longer living in liberty. I don't care how much you say we're, land of the free and home of the brave, you're not free. And that's just the way it is. So whenever somebody asks me what replaces government, freedom, liberty, that's what replaces government.
I'm not completely against him, is the thing. He sounds loony, And that's why I don't push do a political show or put all my thoughts out there because I'm loony. Let's see if you can keep this reeled in and not go over the top.
I mean, just get rid of the use of intimidation, coercion, and force. And, call it out for what it is. When people use intimidation, coercion, and force to get people to pay and obey against their own real free will, then you're committing a crime. And the fact that you're
Free will, I saw that in the 90s. That whale definitely got out of that enclosure and was a free will.
called an IRS agent doesn't change the fact that you're committing a criminal act. Well, shooting up schools creates victims now, doesn't it? If you create a victim and harm someone else, then you're breaking natural law. I mean, just because you don't have government doesn't mean you don't have rules. Anarchy.
I think this was one of his later episodes. We can see why he went to his politics only channel, politics mainly channel from the nice. He has a bunch of episodes where he's just chilling out, smoking pot with music, and I can't choose one of those. You're tying my hands here with one of the chill streams here, Mr. Valboski. Not going to get that DMC.
Does not mean no rules. Everybody thinks anarchy means no rules. That is absolutely not what anarchy means. Anarchy simply means no rulers. All men are created equal. If all men are created equal, then I don't have a right to snuff your life out just because you mouth me off.
Sending me down the Scott Steiner math promo with that all men are created equal. But you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe and you can see that is not true. Joe.
Maybe.
Disaster for you.
I don't know how it would work in a free society. There are probably 1,000 different options you would have to deal with criminals in a free society.
I love that he's broadcasting from a dark car moving down the highway. This makes Opie's setup look completely professional. The fact that he's not driving down the road and he's at least
whose job it would be to handle real criminals.
The sound quality isn't the worst, though.
Communities could hire those businesses. If, let's say, and I would say privatize all the different communities, get rid of the governments and privatize them. Let the people in the communities decide what kind of security forces they want to hire for their community. And you try to walk into your local community's police station and say you're all fired because you guys are beating up teenagers in our community. We don't like that. Those fucking cops will laugh you out of the building. But if you privatize security forces and get rid of government-paid cops...
Yeah, little, what would you call them? Fiefdoms, little tribes. That is very logical to have less centralized and more localized laws. I think we need that big solar flare to knock out all of technology and start from scratch again to do something like that. We are in a big machine, and it's going to take something catastrophic like solar flare and technology breaking down to get back to those small little fiefdoms that Val Venis is protesting, endorsing. Dabblestorian has a challenge, a silent mic or a DG co-host audition. I do want to do a silent mic. I've got an idea for it. I'd need an editor to edit something for me. Luckily, I do know a few of those. I just need to pitch the concept to him. I was thinking of reaching out to Toucan Sam. That's right. He got rid of the last syllable in his name. Toucan Sam did. And you as well, Dabble Story. And I'll pitch the concept to you so I don't have to turn in my 2-month Shuli. It's my 1 month. I need to turn this in. I am now 2 months without using Shuli. I am not proud of my actions of listening to the Shuli network, but I did do it. And to get to tomorrow and be honest and move forth, I must go to Shuli's Anonymous, the meetings, and I missed the meeting. I need to turn in my 1 month from my 2-month chip. My 3-month is actually just about a week away. Dabblestorian DG was on a stream with John last night and didn't speak for over an hour. So it is it's like a coin toss between a DG co-host audition and a silent Mike co-host audition. And yeah, he does not have his own show, Mike Morris. There is a Mike Morris that has a vodcast. I can do his show, but he has a guest on. It's which is a little different, but I think I can make that work.
If that security force or peacekeeping force or whatever it is,
Back to Val Venis and his fiefdoms, which I'm not entirely against. Smaller fiefdoms over
to hire,
countries.
if they start getting out of line and beating up the kids in that community, or
we just can't make it happen in the current circumstances.
Fire those people and hire a new agency. That's the power of freedom. It empowers you, the individuals. But with today, where we have a government-funded police force, if they're beating up your kids in your community because they're smoking pot, or they're just being kids and playing hide and seek in the neighborhood, and
Val Venis needs to make a tag team with Delete Laws. Those two would get along handsomely. And Delete Laws is in Vegas, isn't he? Actually, Vegas was probably a fake hometown for Val Venis. That was probably just in wrestling. As was his porn star career. He never did adult films. That was his character who did adult films. And he didn't do real ones, but they did make some risque videos, like with Terry Reynolds. And that was a neat little storyline. Many times they just played it for laughs, but Dustin Rhodes showed his emotional range in acting with his heart being broken with that Big Valboski. The preacher's wife. That's what they called it. He had a religious gimmick at the time.
Laugh you out of the building. Okay? They don't work to protect and serve individuals. They work to protect and serve the state and the politicians. That is a problem. And so, like I said, let's abolish government, get rid of them. Let's get past this idea that we somehow need government. Now, you got to remember, we have all...
I probably shouldn't keep agreeing with Val. I'm going to sound like a kook, too.
Spent 12 or 13 years in public schools, or most of us have. And so you really have to understand that we've spent all that time, the most impressionable years of our life, being taught by government-paid teachers. They're not going to teach you that government is not necessary.
And we do know the quality of substitute teachers in the Dabbleverse is not of the best. And yeah, we do not like. I had a friend who grew up in Russia, and the way that their education worked, at least at the time, of finding what you're good at. Like, they try everything to find what you're good at. He tried ballet. He tried a whole lot of things, and excelled. Kept doing what he excelled at. Whereas I'm pretty sure that the American education system was based upon creating workers for industrial, and it really does kill creativity. Like, there are so many children that go into kindergarten with mass amounts of creativity, and then you're like in a 12-year war to not be beaten into normalism. The schools stink. Like, I feel I do talk about my kook beliefs of past lives and stuff. There's just inherent knowledge that I can't explain of what I had, of realizing this education system is fucking shit when I was a little child, but not really being able to figure out why I have this insight to what they're doing here is horseshit. So yeah, I'm not as deep into the reincarnation as some people of, I was this person, I was that person. No, there's just little things that I've known that I'm like, how do I know this at this young age? Like a certain retained knowledge. Dabble story, and I got really angry and was asking John to drop him. He was on talking to VTL, and DG ended up just staring at the screen. Yeah, there's that reminds me of the subreddit surfing with antinatalism Lawrence. I was really telling Vinny to get rid of this guy in the chat, and so was someone else, and they kept him on the whole time. And Vinny, going back and listening to it, he was like, yeah, you were right. We should have gone to plan B. Antinatalism Lawrence just stunk the joint
There's a
up.
reason we come out and we just, like robots, repeat what the government teachers have taught us for the first 13 years of the most impressionable years of our life, and we repeat these words so often. Government is a necessary evil. That's called indoctrination. And generations after my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, they all believe the same bullshit. That government is a necessary evil. Government's not a necessary evil. Let's sit down and really think about what we're saying when we say that. Instead,
I feel like you could be pitching these fiefdoms in a way that doesn't sound insane and with better lighting.
just repeating what the teachers have told us to say. And start asking them, why is government necessary? Well, what about the roads? They need to build roads. Okay, well, I can think of a few different ways we can build roads without taxing people, without stealing from people's paychecks. Can we at least explore those options?
It's a whole upheaval of how we live life, though. I can see what he's going for here. That is a huge undertaking. That's such an undertaking. Like if you got Brian Lee to do it, it would be a disaster. Sure, he looks like the undertaking, but he isn't the undertaking.
Options? No, that's government's job. Steal money and build roads. So we can't even have the discussion of how to build roads on a voluntary basis. No. Just say that government is a necessary evil. That's what teachers teach you. And we come out of these schools like robots. Blah, 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 blah. Government is necessary evil. Just like that. That's called indoctrination. I believed it. I was...
Yeah, we actually do agree way too often here. Oh boy, I am really exposing myself as a crazy person, aren't I?
Indoctrinated. I was lucky enough to...
But yeah, the education system in America takes the creativity out of you. To be a creative individual at the age of 18, you are a strong one to get out of there with your own... We'll get back to Val in a minute. Dabble Storian, I remember this joke. I point in the chat, and DG's hat has more points than DG himself, and he had the hypocrisy for saying Silent Mike. Yeah, DG and the other one, Joey C. I'm very trepidatious to dive into that, so that's why I would definitely choose Silent Mike over a DG co-host audition. And yeah, I had the idea in the works. I would just need to watch a Shuli episode myself or have someone clip it, like to get Mike alone. His show has been in development. His web series has been in development for as long as some hellish Hollywood productions.
Books that really opened my eyes early in my life when I was 18 years old. The first book that really started to get me to question government was Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged.
Of course, that's a
tremendous
well-known one.
And I don't agree with Ayn Rand on everything that she stood for, but she is a hero of mine. It was her book, and I didn't get the book in school. It was given to me by a friend who urged me to read it.
I'm just giggling at your joke of DG's hat has more points than he has again. That's a fun zinger.
And at first I didn't know what it was, didn't really expect much from it, and then I started reading it, and I got into it. And it basically shed a light on what governments actually do that I was never taught in school that governments actually do. And so when I read that book, the first time I read it about 6 times. Also, I have read it 6 times, almost 7. I got about halfway through it about a year ago and then put it down. I already know what's coming anyway. But anyways, it made me question, like, wow, I never thought about government like this. And there was, if you read the book Atlas Shrugged, you'll come across Fountainhead's another great one. The Fountainhead, absolutely. We the Living. But Atlas Shrugged was the first book that I read from Ayn Rand.
Yeah, Val Venis, he was in the Right to Censor, too, when he was indoctrinated. Oh, his character, that's right. Val Venis, the porn star, was indoctrinated into the Right to Censor, trying to censor language and everything fun about the show. So that was actually a nice little, all right, we're going to show titties. Here's Stevie Richard to not show you titties. We really wanted to show you naked titties, but fucking Stevie Richards.
Now that's what got me started. Fountainhead was actually the 3rd book that I read. We the Living was number 2. And then I came
Did
across
anyone see the naked titties 1999 Armageddon? Miss Kitty was doing a striptease, and it was just a few frames. Sergeant Slaughter was just slightly late on getting that towel, and then the next month they decided to play on that, and we saw Mae Young bare-chested, 80-year-old, 75-year-old, something very old. Mae Young's boobies were on the Royal Rumble 2000, I think it was, and there's people who say that it was a prosthetic. If it was a prosthetic, well done. Those were some disgusting old titties. It was great. They sacked her. Oh yes, she got fired not long after that. Actually, she was with the company for another year before they fired her, and she was in the middle of actually a right to censor storyline with our buddy Val Venis here. And yeah, she must have been just a pain in the ass. And then Jerry Lawler, being a good husband, was like, "Well, if you're going to fire my wife, then I'm going to walk out too." And they were divorced within less than a year, and he was back in the company because she was fucking around on him. He was out of town, decided to surprise her by coming back early, and there's a dick in her in his bed. So that was the end of Jerry Lawler and Stacey Carter.
After I found Ayn Rand, it was probably about a year later, I found Lysander Spooner, who really opened my eyes and really made me go, oh, now I get it.
Lysander
that makes sense.
Makes me think of,
but mind you, that was early in my life. I mean, I started that journey when
Shakespeare.
I was 18 years
Lysander.
old. Most people, once they hit, 25 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, they're so dead set in their ways that it's incredibly difficult for fact and logic to break through that armor. That 13 years of this is what we're fighting against. We're fighting against 12 to 13 years of government education. 12 to 13
Damn it! No, he's paralleling the thoughts I already told you. Hi, folks. This is my coming out of the crazy person closet episode. I agree with this nut much more than I thought I would. I don't know if I want those interviews or not. I haven't been fully delving in. My brain was just throbbing from taking in so much John that I'm on a semi-John vacation right now. I'm not ingesting him directly. Ooh, Chris Chan. Chris Chan for co-host Audition. Yeah, that would be odd. Doing a Chris Chan episode. I'm not opposed to it. That would just be an odd one. Chris Chan's, I guess, Captain's Log. I guess it would be a compilation of Captain's Logs to co-host with.
years of government education is what we're fighting against. And that's a tough nut to crack, man. There's no other way to paint that shit.
Bust that nut, Val.
Right there. Now, there are lots of people that were indoctrinated, all through their public education, through most of their adult life. And I've had, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds listen to the message of freedom, and you start to ask them questions that where they're going to eventually answer their own question. And there are people that, no matter how much they're indoctrinated, you get to a certain point in the questioning and they stop and they go, I think I see where you're going with that. I've never thought about that before. That's interesting. And then you can see the wheels turn. And those people, are more
the wheels in the brain go round, 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 round. No hurry on that Dabble Storian. You can do whatever projects you have coming up. There's plenty of goofs on the internet to get in co-host auditions. But yeah, when you've got the time, Chris Chan sounds like a fun attempt of co-host auditions. That should be. I bet it'll be funner than Boogie. Boogie got a little too real there for a little while on his streams yesterday.
They don't mind it challenging something they've actually believed their entire life. For other people, however, and I'm going to say for the majority of the people, if you believe for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years that taxation is just a necessary evil and that you can never imagine it as being a criminal act of theft, and then you start to, when somebody's asking you certain specific questions,
I have trouble with that word too sometimes, Val.
Rabbit trail, step by step, and leads you to the point where, hey, if you say
I do my acting exercises actually before I do this show. There's silly acting voice exercises to loosen your voice up. Bada gada. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. All right, did the red leather, yellow leather. Not that bad. Great.
Taxation is theft. If you say no, then you're just in denial, and you can see the wheels turn. You're like, fuck, I'm stuck here because I can't say no. And then you can see the wheels turn. But in those cases, I find that the majority of them.
For those who saw the King of the Hill episode, Unique New York. That's definitely one of them. Unique New York. Unique New York. You can watch it before, and you got to go cold. Yeah. On these, I've only had one co-host audition, which I saw beforehand, and that was the Casey Armstrong first episode because I was in the chat and I was just so baffled. I'm like, this is one of them. But since then, I've previewed little snippets of these episodes. But yeah, this is a react type of show. Whoops.
The people in those
We're
senses,
missing so much. If I go out of full screen mode, there's a lot going on in this frame that we don't want to miss.
That you've been wrong your entire life, and that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. People don't like to be wrong. Like I said, I discovered really the reality of critical thinking when I was 18 years old, and even at 18 years old, it was a hard pill for me to swallow. So I couldn't imagine if I stumbled across the same kind of information when I was 40 or waited until I was 60 or whatever. I mean, I just couldn't imagine. You know, I don't know if I can swallow that pill. So I was lucky enough to come across that.
I couldn't swallow pills as a kid either. My throat was like, no. You remember they had the little liquid medicine, and some of them tasted good, but some of them were awful. Banana, I remember that. There was a banana flavored that just came right up. Like, what a shitty little kid with medicine I was. I can't do pills. Bleh, this liquid tastes bad. Yes, he is driving. That is him in the in the driver's seat going down the road, headlights behind him, and his phone. I was saying earlier that he gives Opie's streaming a good name.
That information, you know, at the tender age of 18, but even then it was a hard pill to swallow. You know, nobody likes making enemies, but believe me, the liberty message makes you enemies. Plain and simple, it makes you enemies. There are, you know, and I got friends on the other side. I got lots of friends on the other side, liberal side.
The other side sounds like he's a medium. Sounds like he's talking about dead people.
Side, basically the statist side. And, you know, we're friends, and we fucking battle about politics all the time. But there are other people. The second I start to ask them certain questions about something they believed in all their life, and there are some people that just they don't want to hear that, man.
Oh yeah, some people get very angry. I do like being challenged, and it can trigger some emotions. But a lot of people get super fucking pissed. I don't know how it was generations ago, but people don't like critical thinking in this country currently. That's why there are two political like teams. Put on your political hat instead of critical thinking like other cultures have of you're full of shit. You are you're my team. Do the thinking for me. I'm gonna go and drink a beer.
Up again, your friendship's done, and in those cases, well, there's nothing you can really do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. People are comfortable when they're asleep, and to become awoke I'm telling you, it's not a comfortable place to be. But that's where the revolutionaries are. Revolutionaries are the ones that ask relevant questions.
I would love if this came to a screeching halt. Absolutely dabble story, and that would be hilarious. Sorry, officer, for crashing into a tree. I just had to read a super chat. This person tipped me $50. What, am I not going to read his super chat? That would be rude.
Expect honest answers. Because the reality is, even when somebody understands that the mechanisms of taxation are identical to the mechanisms of extortion.
Are you at a light? I think I hear the blinker.
They're only really different in name. And they're only really different in name because one is perpetrated by people running around calling themselves government. And of course, we have government education.
Yeah, that's the blinker.
Necessary, and people believe it. On the other hand, you have people that are not affiliated with government, and we call their activity extortion and theft, and we arrest them and throw them in a cage for doing so. But the reality is, the result is the exact same. You have a human being that has had wealth.
I don't know why I find him turning to be funny. For some reason, that's funnier than him just driving straight.
Extracted from them through the use of intimidation, coercion, and force. And that is a crime. And when you start to lay that out for people.
Only a couple more minutes left. I would love to see those red blue lights in the next 3 minutes dabble story and to get pulled over.
You know, they've been brought up their whole life thinking it's just normal, and that the people in the IRS are just, honest, hardworking people that are just.
Are you getting some Taco Bell?
It's necessary evil, and You know,
Yeah, he's getting to his destination. He's pulled
if you
into a
really believe
shopping
that,
center.
well,
This is
then you
getting
live
exciting.
from cradle to grave as a slave to rulers. Because in your
We'll see if he picks someone up,
world,
Rochi.
the reality is all men are not created equal.
Are you Jenna?
Some men in your world are rulers, and everyone else are subjects that are required to pay and obey. And so if that's the world that you feel comfortable in, well, then, I mean, there's nothing that I can say that's going to persuade you to say, you know what, having some men as rulers and other men as slaves.
Yeah, we're at the end. This will be so exciting if we see someone get in the back of his car. All right, folks, that's the end of today's episode. That would be the perfect ending to this episode, Rochi.
They pay and obey, or they go to a cage. If you can't accept it, that's a crime against humanity. Literally a crime against humanity. I don't know what else to say.
Interior light. Hooray!
Going to
must have been
persuade you to
someone else's headlights.
You know, change your tune.
Come on, interior light.
All right, guys, thanks for joining me on tonight's Drive Time Rant right here on YouTube on The Captain Show. I'm going to keep doing these on a regular basis, so please let your friends know that we'll be here on a regular basis. We're also going to continue to do our TKS show, The Captain Show, where we talk about cannabis, and of course, we're going to do.
This has been dormant for I think 2 years. This channel, and then he went to his anti-government channel, which we will be checking out right after this ends.
Mostly the Drive Time Rants will be about politics. Most of the TKS series will be on cannabis.
He's sounding more and more like Stuttering John. Come back, sir. You can be up there with Ryback of my favorite lolcow wrestlers. And we actually agree on a lot of points, which is goddamn scary. Yes, fiefdoms forever, government never. Let's go.
And so, yeah, man. Let everybody know about this channel. Get them to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe below. Give me a big thumbs up and share this content around as well. All right, homies. Peace.
Peace, Val.
When I first learned how to.
Devil's Dorian says, ain't as good as the witness in the Johnny Depp driving off his car during his video testimony while vaping throughout. Johnny Depp on the witness stand. Yeah, I forgot about him vaping throughout. I didn't follow that blow by blow. Some people sent me some of the fun highlights of that trial. And what was it? Someone sent me and Nothing Else Matters to the tune of And Nothing Else Matters. That's Metallica, right? It was fuck. Hopefully I remember it. And it was Fecal Matter, and that's Fecal Matter. Yeah, and Nothing Else Matter, and it was Fecal Matter of her shitting on the bed like a cat upset that you had too many people over. And she pissed in his shoe, clawed up what she wasn't supposed to claw up. Here is for your lady claws to get them nice and sharp and then hurt Johnny very bad. Okay, this is Val's other channel, Sean Morley's other channel, Top Shelf Anarchy. Oh, I didn't bring up the website. The website for Top Shelf Anarchy has expired, so if anyone wants to fuck with Val, go to his Twitter, see the website that he's plugging, and you can go buy that domain name. Yeah, she did. She blamed as you would think, you would believe that a dog shit on your bed. Dogs get pissed and they'll do that too. They better have had a German Shepherd. You're not going to convince him that it was the Chihuahua that did that. It's as big as 2-3 of the Chihuahua's heads. He did not poop that out. Did he keep going to the same spot? No, that is just one stream of fecal matter. So the Top Shelf Anarchy, I believe that might be his weed brand, and the description of this channel, which has been more active more often. I believe he still hasn't done anything in 9 months, but he seems to get on streaks of putting out a lot of videos and then nothing. So hopefully he'll pick it up again. Description: I filmed government, all levels of government. I challenge the insane narrative that society is made up of humans who claim all men are created equal. But Samoa Joe, it has an 8 1/3 chance of winning. That's not in there for those listening by audio. If I ever do turn this into audio only, as I was told to, Oh, but anyways, back to it. All men are created equal, yet continue to accept or ignore the fact society has been converted into rulers and subjects by criminals who use the criminal tactic of intimidation, coercion, and ultimately force to ensure your compliance. I attempt to expose this fact that government is a criminal organization through the use of the Socratic method of questioning and draw out contradictions in the statist mindset. And then he has another paragraph, but I think that's enough. I'm sure it's just he has a cold open to this video, and then he gets into it from the start. And this guy, Val, has a major. Oh, excuse me. The fuck was that? Val has a major grudge with this police officer. He has several videos dedicated to this man with his badge number right there in the in the title of the video. I'll get to your chats in a minute. Let's get this started. I've got my nice shirt on to get into the government building. What do you have on, Mr. Venus?
Did you swear an oath to honor a judge's ruling, or did you swear an oath?
Oh, he's drunk. I didn't mean for him to be drunk. All right. He is not actually drunk in this. 0.75 speed off, normal speed, and we'll probably take it to 1 1/4 like we usually do.
To honor the Constitution, sir. To issue a trespass warning.
I'm issuing it to you right now.
Then give it to me in writing, in paper.
And I kind of fucked up what he was saying there by having it all slow, but just questioning, who do you answer to? Do you answer to the Constitution? Do you answer to a judge? Well, that is a kind of who do you listen to there?
All right, guys.
He's got a black T-shirt on and sunglasses, barging into a government building, and some of these he shows himself. Come on, put a collared shirt on.
Thank you so much for joining me right here on Top Shelf Anarchy. Right now, we're getting ready to head into the Mesa Municipal Courts over here. And we're going to take our camera in there and see if they'll respect our First Amendment right to freedom of the press and to film in public from public places. And we're going to see how far we can get into this.
Some courthouses, some states you can film in courthouses, some you cannot. So I'm not Mesa. Are you in Mesa Verde? Are we Better Call Saul in New Mexico? Dabble Storian says that dog is a victim, though. It got stung on the paw by a bee. Yeah, Johnny Depp and what's her face's dog. Poor little thing. Two very narcissistic people and a dog. Sounds like a good TV show on NBC this fall. Two narcissists and a dog. Got to have the dog talking too. Maybe just in his head thinking with a celebrity voice. Maybe an old guy who everyone likes. Dabble Storian, Dragon Lord would be a great co-host episode. I'm pretty sure he shit himself on stream. That is wonderful. I don't know if I'm familiar with Dragon Lord at all. Thank you for the recommendation. I will look into Dragon Lord. But right now, we are barging into this courthouse filming in a black T-shirt. Well, Val is anyway. I brought my collared shirt, my collared corduroy shirt. Didn't go as far as a tie, but I'm making an effort, Val. Come on.
City court in order to attempt to ask the city attorney a few questions. Let's go.
I love the iMusic music that he has there. iMovie rather. iMovie stock music that he has in there. It really fits with the tone.
If you or a loved one has had a case that settled for less than what was needed or deserved, you know how disappointing.
We've got a local lawyer. that guy, I've seen that guy as a drunken mess. No, you're not going to win me over. I saw you as a drunken fucking mess. Video is stuttering more than John. I might need to get an Ethernet rather than go by Wi-Fi. I think it might be. I I think it might be jumping more than on your end, more than my end. So I've got to make some technical upgrades so it matches on my end and the viewer's end.
Where's that sign?
Right on the doors.
Dabble Historian believes it's Val. Good.
Okay, so now what we need to do is to talk who's in charge of this place to get that unconstitutional sign removed. So who can we speak to about that?
Supervisor coming out right now?
Please do. How are you, sir?
I'm here concerning the Constitution. Where's the manager?
Sir.
I'm looking for the court manager.
So you've been here before, so you know the rules.
This isn't the first time Sean Morley, Val Venis has done something like this. So I think he knew damn well that they're going to say, turn the camera off.
I know the rule. I know the supreme law of the land says I have a First Amendment right to freedom of the press. All right, sir, I'd like to speak to your supervisor to talk about getting these unconstitutional...
Karen Venus, I need to talk to your supervisor. I need to talk to the courthouse manager.
Signs removed. Oh, this is going to convince me that it's constitutional?
Nope, it's going to convince you that you need to leave. I'm going to have it.
The manager of the USA,
that
historian, is recommending the manager of the USA for Val to see.
That is documenting what's happening in public places in a public building. And you're going to turn around like a tyrant because my words don't matter. Please get me your supervisor. I'd like to speak to a supervisor. So here we go, guys. The supreme law of the land says Americans have a First Amendment right to freedom of the press, to be journalists.
But it sounds like that this state does not allow filming in courthouses, despite the law of the land. It differs from state to state.
People like this have sworn oath to the Constitution. They work in a public building where constitutional rights are supposed to be protected. Yet that First Amendment right, as much as the founding fathers attempted to protect you, the American citizen, from these people violating your First Amendment right, look what they're doing. They swear an oath to the Constitution, but I somewhere...
looks like they're just hanging around, waiting to do their job, like stop a crazy person from entering the courthouse and yelling and filming. Rochi says, penis lives matter. Penis lives do matter in every state, in every country.
Magically must have sworn an oath to policy as well. And to the public school teachers out there, these are all fully grown adults.
What about the public school substitute teachers? Is this directed at them too?
Adults right here that work for the government. They were in your hands for 12 years. 12 years. These human beings were in the halls of your camps, your indoctrination camps. You had one job. Now I have.
You had one job. Is that the Reddit that you were on before you came here? You had one job. That's a Reddit, isn't it? Maybe it's a I Can Has cheeseburger photo dump. You had one job. Dabble story, and Val's oppressed by the tyrants standing, ignoring him. And I believe they are taking the right tactic. As the guy mentioned, you've been here before. This is not new to these people. It's rambling. Maybe the first time he got them to really react, but here he is again. Don't pay him any mind. Just get the minimum amount of us to get him the heck out of here. Rochi asks, didn't Val do porn? Not actually. He only did porn in character, and they shot some skits as if he was a porno actor. But there is actually no Val Venis porn. It was all a character. It was all an act. How dare you? Very much like these people violating his First Amendment rights. They were... I can't even finish that thought. Karen Venus is making me hysterical.
The freedom of the press. You had one job, public school teachers. One job. We got a supervisor coming down? Or somebody that's in charge of the building? Shame on.
Maybe not. The manager of the building will do just fine if I can't get the manager of the United States to talk with me in person. Rochi asks, I thought he did some time Sonny did, or I dreamt it. Sonny actually did make a porno. Sonny Side Up. The good fellas over at OSW Review reviewed the Sonny porno. If you would like to see some guys goofing on Sonny not looking as good as she once did doing porno, I believe she has her WWE Hall of Fame ring as she's spreading her cheeks so that you can see in the Sonny porn. But Sonny legit did porn. China legit did porn. I don't know if Doug Stanhope recorded it, but I saw him live one time do like a half an hour on the China porn, and it was hysterical. Oh, poor China.
Or somebody that's in charge of the building?
Wrong people.
Shame on all of you. Violating an American's First Amendment right to freedom of the press. Unbelievable. How do people get like this?
People get like this because you've done this a half a dozen times already.
I can't even go up to the city's attorney's office to ask simple questions because these guys want to stop me from coming in here and documenting my journalism.
They don't want you to come inside them, Val. That was your old job. And as I established, not even his old job.
Do we have somebody coming down, ma'am? Somebody in charge of the building?
Ooh, maybe this is turning into a Val Venis porno. Do we have someone coming down? Yeah, I'm coming down. That was off camera. Oh, well.
How does it make you feel to tell somebody they're not allowed?
Now he's going again to Stuttering John Melendez. How does it make you feel to be a police officer? How does it make you feel to be violating my First Amendment rights as an American?
How does it make you feel to tell somebody they're not allowed to engage in the First Amendment protected activity called freedom of the press? You don't want to answer that?
They are paying you no mind. There is a list, the pay no mind list. You are on it, sir. I can't get in the president's office and ask him questions. How dare you stop me from entering the president's office? I have questions directly for him. Dabble Storian is saying.
Mesa Police, so you get paid by tax dollars. Who told you it was okay to accept a career position knowing your entire paycheck, your entire pension, and your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot?
Oh, that guy's breaking. That guy's starting to laugh at him.
You don't have skills or anything marketable that you could engage in the free market and earn money honestly? Instead, you accept your entire standard of living to be funded with stolen loot. I mean, unless you truly think taxation is something other than the crime of theft.
Taxation is theft, so you're profiting off of theft.
Would you know theft if it hit you in the face?
Oh, she wants to hit him in the face very badly, but she's not going to do it.
But yet, you have the power, you have the ability. You don't have the right, but you have the ability to put me in handcuffs and put me in a cage. And you won't answer questions.
Oh, you aren't even waiting for the manager of the United States to get there. This is what got you kicked out of the building, is being a belligerent ass to these lowly people. You want to be a belligerent ass to the manager of the United States when he finally gets downstairs.
Tell me that's not a tyrant. Shame on every single one of you. You're a young man.
Oh boy.
You're a young man. How does it feel?
You, sir.
How does it feel knowing your paycheck and pension is funded with stolen loot? They don't want to answer the good questions. They don't want to answer the real questions.
The real questions. Your paycheck is paid with stolen money. Oh, I'm kind of doing a half a job there. I am a fan of the how does that make you feel? But Dabble Storian's favorite Stuttering John question is, are you fucking? Yeah, that lady was not entertaining. That lady would be in the fetish type of film if she got in with Val Venis, the character. That would be a fetish BBW gangbang that she would be part of. I don't think she would be featured solo. Val Venis fucks 1 ton of women.
So the question here is, there's a bunch of you with badges on. Which one of you is going to honor your oath and allow a journalist to come in and document asking the city attorney questions? Oh, it's funny, is it?
Because you call yourself a journalist doesn't make you a journalist. This isn't the All Elite Wrestling press scrum where you're just a journalist.
It's funny being a tyrant. Unbelievable. Didn't have any skills or anything marketable that you could earn a living in the private sector, do you? You, as a human being, willfully chose to pursue a career knowing your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot. Shame on you guys. Shame on every single one of you.
And we have someone just paying a traffic ticket. They're walking through, paying them no mind as well.
Dogs like us, oh, we can smell a good deal.
And oh, this is a Petco commercial. He isn't smelling weed this time. Snoop Dogg isn't. And a StreamYard commercial. I get a lot of StreamYard commercials. They know what to aim my way. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this guy is a returning villain. Val has at least 2, I think 3, maybe even more videos dedicated just to this police officer claiming that he has mob ties. Or maybe when he's referring to the mob, he's talking about the government.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well, sir.
What's your name and badge number, sir?
Garth White, 120.
Hi, well, I'm Dillon.
77.
Garth White, it's a pleasure.
Anyway, they have paperwork saying that y'all can't video inside.
I understand what they have, sir. They also have a sign right here that says no photography, video recording.
Right.
Yeah, and what did you swear an oath to?
Okay, let's not get into all that.
Let's not get into the Constitution. You swore an oath to the Constitution, yes or no? You swore an oath to protect my right to act as a journalist and go in there and ask the city attorney very basic questions, okay?
Apparently, this state does not allow cameras inside, and you, sir, are not a journalist.
So yes, let's get into that. You swore an oath to protect my right to freedom of the press, right? Yes or no?
Of course I did.
Okay, then can you please go ahead and protect my right to freedom of the press?
No, they have
You
paperwork
can't.
from the court saying you can't do
Did you swear an oath?
No.
Did you swear an oath to a judge, or did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
We have a traveling Karen. He went from inside Karening it up to down to outside with Karening it up. Dabble Storian. I'm a journalist without a press pass or a suit. Come on. Trust me, I'm a journalist. Yeah, he's wearing a black t-shirt. Here and you're pretending to be Val's co-host. I'm wearing a collared shirt. I put in more of an effort. And we just saw his reflection. Those were shorts, weren't they? I've got a oh man, this is going to be a long one.
Get into that. You swore an oath to protect my right to freedom of the press, right? Yes or no?
Okay, we're getting near the end.
Okay, then can you please go ahead and protect my right to freedom of the press?
No, they have
You
paperwork
can't.
from the court saying you can't do
Did you swear an oath?
No.
Did you swear an oath to a judge, or did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
No, I didn't go
I
far
want an
enough
answer.
back. I'm pretty sure he had
So let's
shorts
go have a
on.
conversation
He definitely
in the
has a t-shirt
That's
on.
a good idea. Get in the shade. It's a little hot out here. So you swore an oath to the Constitution. What are you doing?
He did. That was funny where he kind of took it back down to neutral there for a second. Yeah, it is kind of hot out here. But you
forcing policy. Does the Constitution say you have freedom of the press, except when this fat guy right here decides to produce some piece of paper that says policy on it? And you're not allowing me back in there? You're not allowing me back in. You're going to deny me a right to engage in freedom of the press.
Correct. You're not allowed back in, sir.
Will I be arrested if I go back in there?
Absolutely.
I will be arrested if I go back in there.
Can we go back in the shade?
Wow. I will be arrested.
I agree with Rochi. This is what Kevin Brennan would be doing without super chats. He would be just yelling at people out in the open world.
And if I go back in there, you just, sir, I'm telling you right now, you have a chance to change your mind. But right now, you're setting yourself up to have the taxpayers robbed by a lawsuit.
You see, sir, the stolen funds that your paycheck is funded with, I'm taking them. I'm suing you, and I am now Robin Hooding those funds from the poor to the rich to myself.
So you're not going to honor your oath. Instead, you're going to honor some tyrant judge's policy. Is that right?
Well, the judges are the one that said the rules.
Did you swear an
Okay, I'm happy that I don't agree at all with Val on this one. I was agreeing with him way too much in that first video.
oath to honor a judge's ruling, or did you swear an oath to honor the Constitution, sir? Which did you swear an oath to?
Okay, you're trespassed from there. If you go inside, you'll be arrested.
I'm okay. Wait, now, do you care that you just set your city up, the city that you represent, for illegal, for a lawsuit?
Sir,
Does that bother you?
You may do as you wish.
Let him just step out into traffic. Well, that's enough of this.
You don't care because you don't pay. Look around. See all these people driving? See these people walking across the street? They all go to work in the private sector and they're forced to pay taxes. It's them that's going to pay this lawsuit.
You have a wonderful day, sir.
It means nothing to you.
You are trespassed from this building.
I need something in paper, sir. I need something on paper that says I'm trespassed. No? No? Are you serious?
Just scribble it down. Just get the nearest piece of paper, get a pen or a Sharpie, whatever you have close by. You are trespassing. Officer, blah, blah, blah. The Supreme Court is full of tyrants, Val, says Devil Storian.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you're trespassed.
I want something in writing I can take to my lawyer.
I don't care what
Then
you
I'll go in there and get arrested. And
You can take this video to your lawyer. You don't need it in writing. It's being documented in another fashion.
Force it that way.
Okay.
Now give me a piece of paper that says I'm trespassed. I want
papers, please.
Them to issue a trespass warning.
I'm issuing it to you right
Then
now.
give it to me in writing, in paper. You don't need to write it?
I do not need to write
What do I take to a lawyer to prove I've been trespassed
Take
from
your
that?
video.
I need something in writing.
Take your video.
Sir, go in there and get me a trespass
Yes.
warning. They have to.
Very logical. This is your verbal warning. You have a document of this verbal warning in video form.
Write it. What crime did I commit walking in there, sir? What crime did I commit? Filming? Is that a crime? What crime did I commit to get
If
trespassed?
you go inside, you'll be trespassed, and you will be
Let me
arrested.
ask you this question, sir. Let me ask you this question.
Shoot.
You pursued a job knowing that your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot. Your entire paycheck, your entire pension is funded with stolen loot. Okay? Who told you that was okay?
Watch out, don't get right.
Yeah, I'm a fully grown adult.
I will run over your feet if you don't move. I've got to go, sir. That's something Val really is hung up on. Anything that taxes provide are stolen funds. Taxes are stolen funds, and you are paid by taxes. That's stolen funds. These roads were built with stolen funds. Your vehicle was purchased with stolen funds.
Adult. I've been living 51 years. I think I'll be pretty good.
Okay.
Wow. Mesa City cops. Unbelievable.
He never saw the manager. How dare them?
Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, I had a lot of fun
I'm
with
trying to
Val.
go in there to ask the city court attorney some questions, and these guys won't let me go in there.
He's not done. He still has some more rambling to go. You're up there, Val. I have so much fun with both you and Ryback. You should make a tag team. You two don't need me as a co-host if the Val and Ryback show happens. That is phenomenal show fodder right there.
To film. First time I right to go in there and film, and they just denied it to me. They literally threatened me with arrest if I go in there with my camera. Wow. 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 There you go, guys.
This music very much fits the tone. And once again, if anyone is a big fan of Val, he has all these social medias, but his website is not current, and any old body can go snatch it up from under him. Anarchy.com, I believe.
I don't know if you've ever heard.
Oh, wow, Mr. Venus. Absolutely incredible. I hope to hear from you again. We will be hearing from Val again. He has older videos, but he has a lot of videos to choose from. But let's go out on the streets with some more civil disobedience by Slut Boy Tie Slut Boy T. I didn't read that name beforehand. A little fun civil disobedience. You know what this road needs? It needs a traffic officer. I'll go ahead and do that myself. He's getting damn close to these cars while telling them to go slow and stop. Hey now, you sir, you must stop. Oh, and it is a traffic light. So he's probably going exact opposite of what the traffic light is to fuck with people, including a New York City Police Department vehicle, NYPD. He just put his foot up. That is assault against a police vehicle, sir. And he is getting the fuck out of here. Very wise. Can't catch me. Fast as can be. And then we have some people keeping up with Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of Knox County, the former Kane, and sometimes still current. Like, he still makes appearances as Kane. And let us know what is going on with our buddy Mayor Glenn Jacobs, Mr. Dave Colombo. Fun name.
Still responding to conservative Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs holding him accountable for when he was the wrestler Kane. Why? Because kayfabe. Our president doesn't seem to know who...
Kayfabe, for those who are not familiar with it, is like kayfabe. Keep up the act. Keep up the act. That's the word they used back in the Carney days to be like, keep up the act, motherfucker. Or if you're just chilling out and you see some people who aren't in the know, kayfabe.
Our president doesn't seem to know who our allies are and who our adversaries are. Says the guy who for a decade was either teaming with or fighting against his brother on any given week.
They did split and get back together a lot of times, Undertaker and Kane.
Inflation is no accident. Inflation is like Dusty Rhodes polka dots. Whether we like it or not, it's a big part of the American dream. I will always stand up and speak out for the most...
Very well done with that wordplay. Nicely done.
Vulnerable. Spike Dudley disagrees.
Oh my goodness. There is a compilation. Next wrestling episode I will have to get the Spike Dudley getting his ass fucking whipped compilation. He took an ass beating, that small guy.
Vulnerable. Spike Dudley disagrees. Education, not indoctrination. It's like you completely forgot the right to censor were all heels.
And we just were auditioning to be a co-host of one of those heels.
Tennesseans shouldn't have to pay the price for Washington Democrats' spending habits. You knew this one was coming. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. You're paying more at the grocery store because of Democrats' refusal to curb reckless spending. I'm more concerned with how much I paid for See No Evil. And finally...
Oh, and I was a drinking buddy with Kai from See No Evil.
Biological men don't belong in women's sports. Googling Kane versus China has determined that is a lie.
Did they have a match one-on-one? Oh, I remember. Yeah, there was a big whole angle where she was friends with Kane and then turned on Kane. And that was they used the retard word a lot, the big bad retard for Kane in that time. And people are just now, it seems, digging that up and posting that all over the place. Peacock. Oh, Choppy Your Pee-Pee was just recently cut from was recently choppy'd off of Peacock because it's both racist and choppy your pee-pee. That also was Val Venis. Your big angle of getting your pee-pee chopped off at the end of Raw is no longer on Peacock. And this one featured music, which the DMCA would strike. So let's go to this wrestling match. These folks are not both professionals. Top rope. Ooh, similar thing we saw on the last wrestling episode of that's a concussion, possibly a broken neck. And the other guy, you're supposed to take care of your opponent. This other wrestler immediately pulling his arm of this man who probably has a broken neck, and I got to get my shit in. Need to play some just right. Referee, come on. Like, the referees are just so impotent nowadays. It's just like, I'm just here for show. I don't know how to play this role, but I'm supposed to count 3 and count to 10. Well, count to 9 when you're on the outside, because no one gets counted out. And here's the doctor, fucking knock it off. both checking on the guy as not Tiger Mask is trying to do a moonsault. Get out of the way. I need to get my shit in. I need to come off the top rope and jump on this man who broke his neck and got a concussion all in one. That's enough wrestling for today, but never too much of sexy clowns. Some people would say any are too much, but not me. We've got two quick ones from Lemon the Clown, new to this page. Had to dig up some new sexy clowns. I would like to dig out some sexy clowns personally.
Why are you acting weird?
I'm the village crazy lady. That's my job.
Very aware of her craziness, as I think all of the people dressing like sexy clowns are. There's a certain very not normalness to that, or people like me who enjoy it. And one more from Lemon the Clown.
I like sluts and whores and ladies of the night. And I also like lesbians. And I like lesbians who are also sluts.
We have similar interests. We should hang out. That's all we have for today. I had a lot of fun with Val Venis. He will be returning. We will be doing another co-host audition with Val Venis in the future. And Lemon the Clown certainly looks like she has an OnlyFans, so that's something to look into. Please come back to the internet, Val. Push your marijuana wares and your barge into more government buildings. That was absolutely wonderful. No, put Patty back on. Dabble Storian wants Patty C cups. I'm possibly in the future. we will get to a Patty. And tomorrow is up in the air. I'm not sure who the co-host audition will be. The Patty C cups, maybe. It just seems odd doing that one. As I've said, we can work with odd. I'm just on the fence of doing a Patty C cups episode. Definitely down for doing a Silent Mike episode where we do a show with Mike Morris. I am gonna have to put my working boots on for that episode. That one is going to be very much on the co-host instead of the host, Mike Morris. And thanks for chatting once again, Rochi and Dabble Storian. You have been regular in here. We had a couple other people popping in, but not in the chat. So thanks for checking the show out. And I didn't get to the shill segment today, and I didn't change. I should just take that beginning part off, identifying what show it is. That's silliness on my part. There is Gmail. Yep, show's about over. I am getting too damn tongue tied. I didn't do enough bada exercises. Dillon from somewhere at gmail.com for nonsense that you need help with creatively. And be sure to like, subscribe, chat, comment, share. Are there any other things that I can beg for my viewers to do to help more people see this? I hate this part, but got to go over the top with it so we have some fun with it instead of being a full-on chill. Dabble Storian ain't as good as the witness. Oh, okay, yeah. You are kind of talking me into possibly getting on the witness stand with Johnny Depp. In the Johnny Depp driving off his car during his video testimony with that vaping. I totally forgot about that vaping during the during that trial. Where are we at, Patty? Thank you, Rochi. Thank you for the compliments on the good show, and the new people tuning in. If you're coming in right at the end, this was a good one. If the first half, I like the whole thing. Val Venis is very, very parodyable. He's my friend, says Dabble Storian. You can cover the 20 minutes when Patty goes to the excuse me. As I said, I'm getting tongue-tied. I don't know if I can do a 2-hour show with as tongue-tied as I'm getting at the end of this episode. You can cover the 20 minutes when Patty goes to as a co-host. The toilet. Oh, okay. There was a missing word there. That's why I was getting tongue-tied. And yeah, can't go back and edit these. You've got to just Hey, sorry, I meant this instead of that. Thank you all for joining in. Definitely check out this episode if you're just tuning in now. This Val Venis, fucking amazing. Thank you for making content, Val. Make more again. He's on a break. We need more Karen Venus barging into government buildings, needing to see the manager of the United States of America. But thank all you viewers for tuning in. And now go away and check out some of my other videos.